general has sparked this weird diaspora war between African Americans and non-American Black folks, and I want to talk about that. I truly don't get why there's an argument about who started this war when there are portions of each community that partake in it.
Chris, the author done said something, so I definitely want you to go back and finish watching that video if you have not already. And I'm going to remind you that neither side started this war. White supremacy did. But allow me to explain. But first, let me rewind. Hey, Sunshine, I'm Dr. Donna Oriello, sex and relationship therapist in the Washington, D.C. metro area, with a focus on how colorism and texturism impact mental and sexual health, which means that, yes, this is firmly in my lane, and you know that I help Black women feel free, fabulous, and fucked. This was a conversation that we had on the In My Black Feelings, from the In My Black Feelings crew. We had this conversation today. Every Tuesday at noon, for those of you who don't know, and want to join. But the diaspora war thing, like generally speaking, like I said, there are plenty of videos out there that talk about the who, what, when, where, why of it all. But what I really want to talk about is who is benefiting. And that is white supremacy, right? Number one, this conversation was started by white supremacy. Number two, while I can acknowledge that white supremacy started this conversation, it's already what has been said, right? We are all participating in the diaspora war. And this is where I ask you why, right? Now, I'm not saying stop the conversation, because I do believe that the conversation is productive, or it can be productive, but it is not currently productive. And what I mean by that, and this is something that came up in space, right, is what are we wanting from this conversation? Are we wanting mutual understanding, or are we wanting to say, I've been the most hurt? Because sometimes it feels like it's some sort of a competition between between us all about who's the most wrong in this situation, when in reality, all of us are participating in a way that harms each other. Right? So it's the denial, from continental Africans to, Black Americans about like, no, y'all don't belong to us. And I'm looking like, baby, they do. We are one, right? You know, boat stops and shit, right? Kidnapping and boat stops. And, on the American side, there's the xenophobia, right? There's the desire to distance oneself, which on both sides is about preservation in the face of the white supremacist delusion and how we survive in this world. That's what it's about. But that means that we are pointing the finger at each other while they get to miss all that lovely blame that is theirs, all the responsibility that is theirs. That doesn't mean that we don't take some too, because we do. So the question is, why are we having the conversations in the way that we're having the conversations? And how can we get to a space where we're having more productive conversations? Because no, I'm not saying let's kumbaya this shit, that we are all one and that we cannot acknowledge the differences, because I think that's what we try to do with colorism. But we cannot do that here. But if we're going to have productive conversations, it's got to be a lot more than fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. So, tell me in the comments, what do you think? How do we have this conversation in a way that feels healthy, great, productive, and gets us to a goal?